You know, once in a while, as you're walking about, you hear people say money can't buy you happiness. I laugh at them with no reply because they're either rich and they don't know what they're talking about, they have forgotten what being poor feels like, or they're just poor themselves that they're trying to justify why they're poor. However, if you haven't been poor, you don't get to say money can't buy you happiness. It's an insult to that person who struggles every single day to provide for himself and his family. Do you know how expensive it is to be poor? No. Let's break it down. Hey guys, it's Julius and welcome back to another video. Do you know that living paycheck to paycheck can be very expensive? I know some of you are like, what? How so? You may ask. Now you'll be surprised by the little things that add up to big things when you're already broke and struggling to provide the basic needs for your family. For instance, let's begin with transportation. Now if you're poor and are lucky enough to even have a car, it's probably a used one. It's always breaking down and causing you to pay for repairs that are sometimes more than the value of the car. Now, I know so many of you can relate to this because most of us have driven a used car in the past. I remember owning a 1994 Dodge Intrepid, and almost every paycheck I had to spend something on it. Now, not being able to properly maintain a car is costly. So you need new tires. That is a lot of money to drop at once, so you put it off as long as you can. But not having good tires causes either damage to your car that can end up costing money to replace. So now you need new tires and new brakes. This is where I'm going. Another thing that really, when you're poor, that is expensive, are bank fees. You see, banks can screw you over. I don't know how many times I've been affected by this. Oh, you checked your bank account yesterday and you know you have $50 in there and you haven't spent any money. Now you need groceries, so you spend the $50 to get you and your family through until the next payday. But you forgot you set up an automatic payment with your doctor's office for the last exam that you had with your doctor. Now that's $70 that just came out of your account without you knowing because you didn't check your account. And since you just bought $50 worth of groceries, now you are way into the hole, only $75. Oh no. Try again, because they will ding you on overdraft fees of $35 for the bill and the groceries, which is going to end up costing you $70 in overdraft. Then you add that to the $75 you just spent. Now you see where I'm going, and you see how you are digging yourself into this hole. You see my point on how being poor can turn out to be expensive? Because even the small that you have can be taken away. Now that we just talked about how groceries can lead you into trouble when it comes to the banks, now let's talk about how groceries can be expensive when you're poor. I mean, most of us know it's cheaper when you buy in bulk, where you are going to have grocery for the next 2 weeks. But when you are poor, you don't have the luxury to spend $20 on a big pack of toilet papers. So what you end up doing is spend $2 on a 2 roll of toilet papers, which is also of poor quality, right? Now you tell me how long to last you when you have grown people living in your home. Plus, if you can't afford a car because it's very expensive to maintain a used car that you may be able to afford, grocery shopping can get really tricky. Because what's going to happen, you're going to end up only buying what you can carry in a plastic bag. And that's going to be buying grocery at expensive stores because they are within walking distance from your home. Now, some people can only do grocery shopping at gas stations because there are no grocery stores within walking distances from where they live. And you know, if you have ever tried to buy something from a gas station, you know how they hike up their prices. Anyway, lastly, let's talk about health, because this is big for everyone and we all get affected when it comes to health. Now, if you can't afford to take care of yourself as a preventative measure, your health problems are going to get worse and will end up costing more in the long run, the sicker you get. Now, let's say you find a stranger looking mole on your arm, but you can't afford to go to the doctor to get it checked out. Instead, you just let it go as long as you can, until it starts looking worse and worse. Now you have skin cancer. And now the treatment is going to end up costing you even more than the doctor's visit that was going to be. Now, what can you do, right? I mean, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Or say you need insulin for your diabetes. You can only afford so much each month, so you use it as best as you can. Now, this can end up doing a major damage to your body if it doesn't kill you. Now, all of that damage will have you ending up in the hospital once again, spending more money than you would at the beginning. Now, because you don't have enough to pay doctor, you don't have enough to prevent yourself from getting sick. Now, it's an endless cycle that a poor person goes through on a daily basis that someone who is rich won't understand or will ignore to understand. So don't start telling someone who is broke and can't afford to provide those basic needs for his family that money can't buy you happiness. Like I mentioned in the beginning, those that say money can't buy happiness, I beg to differ myself, because I know how it feels to be broke and you can't provide for your family. You see what money does when you have money? It gives you a peace of mind, that freedom that you always want. Now, if you haven't been poor, you don't get to say money can't buy happiness. Now, it may not make you happy, that's for sure, but it sure as hell makes life so easy. Like I always say, you have to work smart, you have to save your money, and you have to invest your money because it sucks being broke. Thanks again for watching another video. I hope you liked the content. If you did, leave a comment below. Smash the like button, consider subscribing to join the journey. See you in my next video.